I miss old YouTube. What do I mean by that title? Well, YouTube, that old era, there used to be a little blurb underneath the logo. I think it said broadcast yourself. You, yourself. That old era, it felt like we were just a little bit closer to the people making the content. Now it feels like, if you want to be close to your audience, you sell them merch, you get sponsorship deals, and maybe that's not quite right, but it kind of feels like that's the era we're in, and I kind of miss simpler times. See, YouTube used to be just basically gameplay videos. Well, I mean, there was lots of other content, but gameplays really dominated the main scene. And I kind of liked it. I used to watch YouTubers like C Nanners, and I think Gassy Mexican was another one, and they played Prop Hunt, Gary's Mod Prop Hunt. And it's kind of sad because Gary's Mod isn't really a game that gets played too much anymore. Well, I mean, it probably does still a little bit, but I used to be a part of a gameplay community. I guess that's not quite the term. But I used to be part of a game community, uh, Prestige Gaming, I think it was called, and we played a lot of Gary's Mod. We played a lot of Team Fortress 2. We played a lot of Minecraft, even. I think there was maybe another few games we might have hosted, but those were the main three I think I can remember. And those games, Simpler Time, like the game we're watching now, Tower Unite, I loved those games because really it was all about you and the people you were playing with. And yeah, games like that still exist. That hasn't really changed, but I don't know. Just that and the way YouTube has changed, it kind of feels like just whiplash. When I watch those old gameplay videos, really what you think about is how you connect with those people playing the game. You see, to distinguish yourself from a sea of other gameplay channels, you have to, well, stand out. You have to be yourself. That's what I loved about a channel like, say, Captain Sparkles, who, when I watched his original Let's Play series, Survival Let's Play for Minecraft, I mean, I remember him discovering Jerry the Slime and building up the tree, and I mean, it was just raw gameplay, basically. It was just him and just playing the game. And what made his gameplay special was that it felt like you were along for the ride with him. And that's why, I mean, I still continue to love channels like Sugar Conroy because they, to me, never stop making the content they enjoy and never stopped being themselves. Sugar Conroy is a Let's Play channel. I honestly think that he sets the gold standard for Let's Plays. There's lots of other channels like him and that are also equally as high caliber. I think Nintendo Capri Sun is also good. Proton John, that whole assortment, they make great content, but Sugar Conroy is the one I'm most familiar with. I remember watching his Super Luigi Galaxy. I still do almost every year as a tradition watch Super Luigi Galaxy, the whole Let's Play. It's just cathartic, really. I mean, it's also just a part of nostalgia, which is kind of what this whole video really is. I'm nostalgic for the past. I think most people are at this point. And YouTube has changed a lot. And in a lot of ways probably for the better. But also I feel like we lost something along the way. Like YouTube used to be just so much more personable. I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know. Captain Sparkles to me when I was younger felt like a person I could actually meet. Like here's an example. I think during the 20 like maybe the 2011, so I guess 15 years ago by now, it was really popular to do a draw my life video. And I like those. It really helped you get to know a creator. And for me, it really also made them like real, like people. I got to see their struggles, their successes. It made them feel real. And I'm sure that someone like Mr. Beast has done videos like that, but today when he's basically the face of YouTube, he doesn't feel like someone I could like meet as a person, if you know what I mean. Maybe you don't, and that's fine. But man, I really do miss that era where people just basically made videos because they loved it. They loved doing it. That's why again, I love Sugar Conroy because to me, he makes his videos because he just loves doing it. There's nothing that stops him. Like, okay, here's his Let's Plays, you know? I guess if we start from the beginning, you know, I think his Let's Plays maybe, you know, they were always really good because he felt he was had true passion behind his games. And to me, that's what's most important about being a content creator, I guess, is having that true passion. If you truly love what you do, then there is nothing that will get in your way because you'll just keep you're doing what you love. You'll find a way to keep doing it. And sometimes it feels like now YouTubers maybe don't always do things because they love to do it, but because it's maybe it's the current trend. And that's fair. It makes sense. It's good to cover things that people are, interested in. And if those happen to be brand new things, that's great. But sometimes it feels like some content creators may have abandoned ship on what made them who they were at first, and I don't know. But some have just evolved, and that's also good too, right? Sometimes you don't just want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Maybe you realize, hey, I can do other kinds of content. I don't have to do the same stuff, and I guess that's what I'm experimenting with now with this whole video, and that's good too. I love Tower Unite also. I got a side blurb here. I miss old YouTube, but also I miss being able to play games like this with friends. Just this kind of, I don't know, not even this kind of gameplay I really feel like exists anymore. Like those prop hunt compilations, like those were the best. But now it feels like those kind of games have just fallen to the wayside, like Gary's Mod and, maybe even Team Fortress. But coming back to a point I mentioned earlier with being a part of a game community, I'll figure out a term for that at some point. Is that I at some point it really started to fizzle out. That community we merged with another community. I think that one was called Edge Gamers. If you're curious about any of this, um, but I felt like that community that I was a part of during that time with Prestige Gaming, Edge Gamers, it was awesome. We played so many games. I got a chance to be an event coordinator, so I got to host a couple events. Absolutely loved Team Fortress 2 Man versus Machine. We got to host that a couple Halloweens. Man, I was excited to do that every time I could. Unfortunately, at some point, I think the community dropped Team Fortress because, I mean, no one on our community played it, and we hosted like 2 servers, so eventually that fell off in favor of newer games. Eventually the community just fizzled out, but I don't know people who really play those kind of games anymore. Like this game, Tower Unite, has like less than in the weeks that I've been playing it has had less than about 700 people online at most, and I honestly think it's a really good game. Just a nice, relaxing, hangout kind of game that I miss about that vibe of old YouTube. You're kind of just hanging out with the creator. I don't know them, and I guess in this case you don't know me, but it feels like in that brief moment that we're in a video, you're watching it, I'm making it, or the content creator's making it if it happens to not be me. It feels like you're just hanging out. You're just interacting with them, even if it's only one way. We leave comments, but someone like, Sugar Conroy who keeps track of his comments and reads them, it makes it feel he usually responds, so it makes it feel like it's like you're like I said earlier, you're along for the ride together with the creator. And I loved that. I mean, that's why I watched people like Vsauce, he was great. He's still great at that. I know he makes shorts, but his old longer form content was exactly like that. It feels like he's just taking you on a ride, and that's what you want to be, where you want to be. Anyway, I don't know where I'm really going with this other than to say uh the old YouTube, I loved it, and I wish we could bring just a little bit of that back. I'm going to try to do that with this channel going forward. I don't know how it'll go, but I do know that as long as I keep trying, I can't possibly go wrong. And hey, this isn't AI generated, so I doubly can't go wrong. So thank you for watching, and hope you have a wonderful day.